Welcome back, players. I'm Jack with 36 Cancel, and this is Coco the Wise Cat. By the way, welcome to my redone studio. It's the first step in the few I'm taking in the coming months to ramp up the quality and the consistency of my content for you players at home. And what better way to break in the new digs than with another Overlord deck tech? This time we're going to look at a different side of Overlord, blue and yellow. Now we know that from the way traits work in this set, that blue and yellow are where we find characters that are human, grotesque, Nazarick, Blue Rose, Raven Black, and even royalty. But since Blue Rose and Raven Black often keyword to each other or together in card text, Momon and his troop of cosplaying guardians fit right in with the human convention. That said, the deck is a great split between blue and yellow. We see some familiar faces at the top and bottom, but in the middle a lot of the tech is totally different, so we'll do the usual. Start at the bottom and work our way to the top, and then we'll see how the deck plays. Let's get started. And hey, look at this. We have Mare and Nabe making another appearance. A lot of this level 0 is unique, but these two are still making themselves known. Yup, even if there are a few misses in this deck for Mare, who needs to see a grotesque race or Nazarick character to work as intended, it's only a few cards and this combo is still good. Mare, the mill runner who also mills a card on play for an extra 2k power, is still one of the most solid openers in the set, and combining him with Nabe, who sits at 3k on 2 or less stock and happens to be a coin flip, results in some amazing early game synergy. It's a great set of cards to open with, always has been, always will be. Obviously, this is a very standard opening to any Overlord deck, but the rest of our level 0 happens to be very different. Check out this Shoutier. When she's played, you can choose any cost 0 character on your opponent's center stage and bounce them back to hand for free. There could be a lot of reasons to do this in any given matchup, especially given the fact that this is 100% free and optional, and she's also a climax switcher for 1 stock. Not bad at all. Now, let's move on to a new face. Blue Rose Tina, 500 power, and she boosts a character on attack by 500. She's also a bottom decker on reverse, making her a Mugen with a free boost. And if there's one place you can send problematic level 0s to if you want to make sure they're gone forever, it's the bottom of the deck. Definitely a great tech piece for our deck that also supports the trait game we're playing. Now, one more thing at level 0, our blue Brainstormer. Princess Renner makes an appearance with some awesome art as a tap self-search Brainstormer that gets any blue or Raven Black character and also boosts the center middle by 500. It's a solid 7 out of 10 Brainstormer profile, and with the way we've got a trait set up, the only thing she can't fetch are Mare and Shoutier. Oh no. We don't care, she's great in this deck. Now, she doesn't carry the Blue Rose or Raven Black trait, but it doesn't even matter because the card text that matters in this deck keywords to blue character or Raven Black, and Princess Renner is as human and as blue as they come. And that's the level 0, 4 4-ofs and 1 single tech piece, a solid foundation. So what are we building on it? Well, check out this totally new level 1. Let's kick off the lineup with our combo of combos, Hero of Heroes, Momon. 1-0, 4k, and if you have experience 2, meaning a total of 2 levels worth of cards in your level zone, he gets plus 2k. Good thing we're running some great yellow 2s and 3s to feed him. And here's the combo. With a wind, the curtain rises on a new legend. When he reverses his battle opponent, he gets plus 1 level and plus 2500 until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then you top check, and if you see a grotesque race or humanoid race character, go ahead and add that to your hand. It's a pretty intense combo. It turns Momon into a level 2 8500 for absolutely free, which is pretty nutso, and the top check combo hits everything. The only thing in all of Nazarick that doesn't fit those 2 traits are the Lizard Men. Sorry, Kruj, you have a great foil, but you're not going in any of my decks. A plus level 1 combo for us. And Momon is supported by some great level 1 tech. There's another level 1 Momon that we run that's 1-1 and gets 3k power and plus 1 soul if he's in the middle center position that just straight up has hand encore. What the actual fuck, that's nuts. But what else can we expect from Momon? Not to be outdone though, the leader of Blue Rose, Lachius, steps in with another strong line of text. Plus 500 for each other blue or Raven Black character, and when she dies, she top checks 3 so you can add a character and pitch a card. There are plenty of other characters with profiles very similar or even slightly worse than this one, and in their respective sets, they're all pretty much staples. So Lachius is an absolute staple in this Blue Rose and Raven Black deck. Can you believe all the free power we can put on the board at level 1 here? Well, I'd say wait until you see the level 2, but the lineup here is actually a lot more focused on tricks and tech. Like this Nabe that's a 2500 pitch 2 anti-change backup. Since early plays are pretty much the only things that could drive out your Momons, you can just use Nabe and say, nah, this is my stage. And of course, should you choose to clock her in the early game, she'll fuel Momon's thirst for experience. It's a great inclusion for us, but even though we're packing 2 anti-change, this isn't our only level 2 backup. We're actually carrying 3 events in this deck, Adamantite Class Adventurer, 2-1, and if you have 4 or more Raven Black or blue characters, you can choose one of the legendary adventurers of Blue Rose and return them from your clock to your hand, and then put this card into memory. It's like Sayaka's Wish and Berserker's Will, but it also heals to hand like Blue Titan's classic combo, and it goes to memory to compress for you. No lie, this card is pretty nifty, and it's a pretty major boon for playing Blue Rose, especially at the top end. Being able to clock your main finisher and then heal her back to your hand while you're in the mid game and not worrying about having to clutch her until the end is convenient as hell. Oh, and it helps you not lose on ping damage. What more do you want? Now for good measure, we're also running the Evileye level 2 level assist. We do have some early plays, and board presence is a little important for us. She can also give any blue or even black character reverse bottom deck, which puts away problematic threats. We may not need her every game, but she's helping our trait map, and she's a great option to run. Now we're closing out on the deck. Moving right along to the top end, we have 3 cards, 1 early play, 1 tech, and 1 finisher. Let's start with the early play. Nazarick's values Nabe, 2 or less early play, and plus 1k power if you have experience 4 or higher. Shouldn't be too hard, and when she comes in, top check X, where X is your opponent's characters. I give it a 6 out of 10 on the early play profile, which is good enough reason to run it, but she's also an amazing for making sure you level with yellow with enough experience for Momon, and of course adding consistency to the endgame and power to the board are good things. Now moving on, we have something a lot more interesting. A new legend Momon, our secondary finisher with 2 very cool abilities. First, on your turn, when you reverse his battle opponent, you can pay 1 and choose any level 3 or lower character on your opponent's stage, and that character won't stand during the next stand phase. It's effectively removing the card at the endgame, which is extremely punishing, but not as punishing as his second ability. Once per turn, at the end of this card's attack, you can rest a standing character on your stage. If you do, mill the bottom 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and if there are no climaxes in those cards, you can stand Momon. So basically, take 1 or more cancels out of the picture, or get another attack. Fucking brutal. And this cost is absolutely clearance rack. It's definitely one of the most effective and versatile secondary finishers I've seen that can adjust to both the state of the board and the deck you're attacking into, and no surprise, our main finisher is the same way. Blue Rose Evileye is a healer, and she combos with the pants. When you place the climax, 5th tier magic caster in your zone, and Evileye is in your center stage, you can choose one of 2 effects. Either 1, you can choose to be cards in your opponent's waiting room and shuffle them back into their deck, or 2, discard 2 cards in your hand and deal X damage to your opponent where X is the number of climaxes in their waiting room. Now, there are several great things about this. First, it's of course malleable to the game state to help you finish your opponent. Second, these costs are extremely low for the abilities you can unleash. And third, both of them synergize amazingly with Momon and the rest of your deck. Also, keep in mind that should you choose the first option and your opponent has 1 or no climaxes in a very tiny deck, this is pretty much game over. Once again, Evileye makes a great finisher to our deck and an excellent way to cap out the list. Now, as always, before I leave you players at home to grab the cards in this deck and try it out for yourselves, I'll give you some basic strategy for it. At level 0, you've got a solid line of tech to sit on. Keep in mind, Mare has a lower percentage of hitting for runs and extra power, since the climaxes, events, and 8 additional characters in the deck are misses for him. But he still synergizes well with Nabe while on the stage, and Nabe doesn't have to see anything in particular, as long as it's level 1 or above, which is a 50% shot here no matter how you cut it. Keep in mind those odds when you're moving your characters around. Other than that, use Tina to take out advantage engines your opponent might have, and use Brenner to start searching out your combo pieces. Now, at the outset, I'd highly recommend clutching either a Nabe backup or an early play, as clocking either of these cards on your opening turn guarantees experience for Momon. And when it's time to level up, keep in mind that any blue target also works for experience as long as they're level 2 or above. In preparation for your combo, use the mobility and the selective assassination abilities of your level 0 to leave Momon some easy targets when you make the transition. When you do, ride on your board power. The 1/1 Momon will pretty much last you the whole game should you choose to keep encoring him, and for a 2-soul 7500 body in the center, you absolutely should. You have the hand size and strong characters to use your backups aggressively and keep pesky early plays off the stage. Clocking an Evileye level 3 when you're level 2 and looking for more gas is great if you have an Adamantine Adventure event in your hand, since you can just heal her back to your hand in preparation for the close. Your endgame has the power to decompress your opponent in a really harsh way, and you can use Nabe to dig for your pieces. Make a smooth transition, avoid attacks with strategic anti-changes, and kill your opponent from a healthy lead. Alright players, that's where I'm going to leave this one. I do have one more Overlord deck tech up my sleeve, but it's not quite ready yet. Give me a week or 2 and I'll have everything I need. In the meantime, the Konosuba movie set has dropped, and I'll have a lot to talk about with it. Look forward to some deck techs focused around 2 Konosuba favorites soon. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.